Whoever does not miss the Soviet Union has no heart. Whoever wants it back has no brain. Sometimes it is necessary to be lonely in order to prove that you are right. Those who fight corruption should be clean themselves. I have a private life in which I do not permit interference. It must be respected. Terrorism has no nationality or religion. My English is very bad. We shall fight against them, throw them in prisons and destroy them. My personal position is that society must keep children safe. Stalinism is linked with a cult of personality and massive violations of the law, with repression and camps. There is nothing like that in Russia, and, I hope, will never again be. One has to be insincere and promise something which you cannot fulfill. So you either have to be a fool who does not understand what you are promising, or deliberately be lying. We need business to understand its social responsibility, that the main task and objective for a business is not to generate extra income and to become rich and transfer the money abroad, but to look and evaluate what a businessman has done for the country, for the people, on whose account he or she has become so rich. Everything will probably never be okay. But we have to try for it. The centuries-old history and culture of India, majestic architectural monuments and museums of Delhi, Agra, and Mumbai have a unique attractive force. I don't read books by people who have betrayed the motherland. It's a historical phenomenon that in 250 years, a nation could move from a colony into the most prosperous nation of the world and the leader of the world. It is indeed an achievement, a tribute to the talent of the American nation, the American people, and an optimal political and economic system. I was brought up in a very ordinary family, in fact, a worker's family. Both my father and mother were ordinary citizens. If you aspire to be a leader of your own country, you must speak your own language, for God's sake. He who does not regret the breakup of the Soviet Union has no heart. He who wants to revive it in its previous form has no head. I think the American people should express their preferences, and will accept their choice. I think the international community should unite to fight such inhuman phenomena as terror attacks and the murder of totally innocent people. The ability to compromise is not a diplomatic politeness toward a partner, but rather taking into account and respecting your partner's legitimate interests. Russia and China are very natural partners. We are neighbors with an immense common border. Russian democracy is the power of the Russian people with their own traditions of national self-government, and not the realization of standards foisted on us from outside. Iraq is a small but very proud nation. Political activities in Russia should be as transparent as possible. Financing political activities from abroad is something the state should keep an eye on. Politics should not interfere with sports. And sports should impact politics. Terrorism has once again shown it is prepared deliberately to stop at nothing in creating human victims. An end must be put to this. As never before, it is vital to unite forces of the entire world community against terror. The more intermediaries there are, the more problems there are. I think every person should have some faith inside him, in his heart. What matters is not an external display of this faith, but the inner state of the soul. How does one control weight? By not overeating. How does one stay in shape? One plays sports. There are no magic pills here. You must obey the law, always, not only when they grab you by your special place. In the modern world, those who are weak will get unambiguous advice from foreign visitors which way to go and what policy course to pursue. A considerable share of the world's population still cannot afford comfortable housing, education, and quality healthcare. In accordance with the Constitution of the Russian Federation, the issues of foreign policy and defense are fully in the hands of the president. The Eurasian Union is a project meant to preserve the identities of nations and the historic Eurasian community in the new century, in a new world. It is necessary to suppress any extremist actions on all sides, regardless of their origin. It is wrong to make anyone into an enemy. It is wrong to scare the people of one's own country with that enemy and try to rally some allies on that basis. I'm eternally grateful to fate and the citizens of Russia that they've trusted me to be the head of the Russian government. I go to the gym, I swim daily, and from time to time I meet with friends and do extracurricular stuff. We're no longer in the Cold War. Eavesdropping on friends is unacceptable. I am the wealthiest man, not just in Europe, but in the whole world. I collect emotions. I am wealthy in that the people of Russia have twice entrusted me with the leadership of a great nation such as Russia. I believe that is my greatest wealth. The United States and Russian security services regularly exchange information. The Russian people have unilaterally made their choice in direction of democracy in the early 90s. They will not be led astray. Nobody should be having any doubts. No one should be allowed to violently trample on the law. It's Russia some people would like to get rid of. They are still afraid of our nuclear deterrent. We have our own foreign policy, whether they like it or not. Protest actions and propaganda are two slightly different things. Radicals can be found in any environment. If the nation is not capable of preserving itself and reproducing, if it loses its vital bearings and ideals, then it doesn't need foreign enemies, it will fall apart on its own. All attempts to appease the Nazis between 1934 and 1939 through various agreements and pacts were morally unacceptable and politically senseless, harmful and dangerous. I would like to draw your attention to the fact that in Russia, unlike in 1/3 of the world's countries, being gay is not a crime. You need to put drones under control. You need to lay out certain rules of engagement in order to prevent or minimize collateral casualties. It is extremely important. No references to the need to fight terror can be an argument for restricting human rights. I believe that the presidential term should be limited. At last, Russia has returned to the world arena as a strong state, a country that others heed and that can stand up for itself. China is a great country with a great culture, populated by fascinating, industrious and talented people. Our military might is the guarantor of Russia's security and independence. Russia is a part of European culture. Therefore, it is with difficulty that I imagine NATO as an enemy.